A mini grid basically is like a small grid. It's autonomous. It powers a very small area, provides electricity to this area basically using several forms of renewable energy or a mix of renewable energy and conventional power to rural areas basically. One of the constraints is the round trip efficiency of lead acid batteries. It's more or less a fact. These batteries have a short lifespan. Well, in Sierra Leone, there has been a difference in lifespan, largely because of temperature differences. When the tropics, so temperature is really around 20 degrees to about 35 degrees. And yeah, batteries degrade with higher temperatures. And ideally, you should have cooling systems for powerhouses. And you could also implement passive methods of cooling by making sure that your powerhouse has enough vents. So yeah, this is what we're doing. Sometimes there are trade-offs. If you don't have proper ventilation at around these temperatures, your batteries degrade and age faster. The other factor is because the materials that are used for lead acid batteries are compromised. The manufacturers compromise on quality, on the quantity of acid that has to be in the batteries. So what you find is that you get cheaper batteries sent down here, but the quality is really reduced. The batteries cost probably 40 to 60% of the cost of an entire mini grid. They need to be replaced like twice or three times before the lifespan of the entire microgrid. And the replacement costs are huge. And doing this 2-3 times before the lifespan of the microgrid seems really difficult. So they also require, lead acid batteries actually require a great deal of maintenance. Yeah, lithium-ion batteries may have solved that problem of replacing the batteries every few years to a large extent. We have those in plants, but they come at a very high cost. So it means from a development engineering perspective, they are not suitable in terms of cost for rural electrification in poor countries, basically. Yeah. Recycling lithium-ion batteries is really expensive now. Well, in Sierra Leone, recycling of batteries doesn't exist, so you need to have them shipped to countries where they have that technology. But even in these countries where the technology exists, it's really very expensive to implement. What the irony is that the demand for lithium-ion batteries is huge. It's really high, and I think by 2040, the demand for lithium-ion batteries should increase by 14 times. So these numbers are scary. To think that we would have lithium-ion batteries sitting in landfills, causing public health hazards, causing hazards to the informal recyclers who actually try to extract the valuable materials from them is scary. And that's the reality we have to face. We should look at batteries from two perspectives. The first perspective is a development engineering perspective, which means that batteries should be fit for purpose, they need to be scalable, and they need to fit existing power conditioning technologies. They need to have their material sourced locally or at least in the sub-region, and they need to be easy to put together. So they need to be almost do it yourself. You get a few people with zero knowledge about batteries and they can put this together in 30 minutes. That's one perspective. The second perspective I would say is from a circular economy perspective. So they need to be reusable. They need to, when they reach the end of their first life, they need to be reusable at first and then recyclable when they're no longer reusable. There exist some chemistries that are non-toxic, to a large extent. I know that you have vanadium redox flow batteries, and then you have other chemistries. It's actually not proven technology yet. It's still emerging, even in very developed countries. They don't work like conventional lithium ion and lead acid chemistries. They are more mechanical in nature. They're really easy to assemble. I think they could be the future for rural electrifications, but it will not solve a problem if flow batteries are imported directly. Where you would have the problem solved is if they're assembled in country. If at least 70 to 80% of the material components are sourced and assembled in country, then it solves cost and energy dependency issues. And apart from that, it also provides economic growth. Definitely, jobs are provided to the local economy, and yeah, new professionals are bred. I'm really looking forward to see what flow batteries will be like in the future.